The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion is a first-person RPG that came out some time ago. Of course, me, being the king of procrastination, just picked it up a few weeks ago. I made my way through it, and I have to say, it's a pretty good RPG. Although I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. Oblivion does present a large, expansive world, lush environments, and lots of shit to do, and that alone makes it worth the purchase. With that in mind, let's get into my review.
Help! You must help! They're killing everyone at Waynon Priory. I don't know. I think they're right behind me. Prior Mabarel is dead.
In Oblivion, you play as random, nameless hero number 4,000,003. For one reason or another, you're locked inside a jail cell, but eventually you're greeted by Patrick Stewart. I mean, the Emperor. But no, seriously, he's Patrick Stewart in a disguise. Soon enough, the Emperor is killed, and you're sent on a journey to find his illegitimate son. That Patrick Stewart is a sly dog. My ramblings aside, what the story basically boils down to is you have to stop an evil cult who wants to open the gates to a not-so-fun zone called Oblivion, and thus save the world. 'Cause, I mean, that's always great. In all honesty, I didn't really care for the story, though. I can't really say why, I just never got hooked by it. I felt no remorse for any of the main characters. I mean, they could have imploded, and I wouldn't have cared, although that kind of sounds cool, actually. But yeah, I didn't really care for the story. The gameplay of Oblivion was great, and at the same time I had some issues with it. We'll talk about the good stuff first. As stated previously, Oblivion is a first-person RPG. You play in real time, no turn-based actions required. Your character can fight with swords, bows, and magic, stuff of that sort, and the game presents you with lots of things to do. You can work on the main quest if you want, although it's not particularly long, or you can take time to take on the game's various assortment of side quests, or better yet, just spend time exploring the countryside. For me, this is where Oblivion shined. There was lots of things to do and places to see, quests to complete, and random people to stab. Plus, if you see something, generally you can go to it, which I loved. But I do have some issues with the gameplay, so fanboys, have your pitchforks at ready. Combat worked okay, although I thought it felt a bit clunky at times. There's no way to lock onto your foes that I know of, so ranged combat almost never worked for me. Actual melee combat was more effective, but at times felt awkward. I also wasn't a fan of having to sleep in order to level up. At certain times, this was just a really big inconvenience to me. With those issues aside, the only real problem I had with the gameplay was how buggy this game was. Sure, some bugs were fun, like walking on the ceiling or having characters move in ways they never should. Ever. But some glitches fucked up my main save file and caused it to freeze a bunch, which I tried to blame it on the 360 at first, but alas, it was not at fault. Yet my issues aside, I did enjoy the gameplay. Graphic-wise, Oblivion looked really good. Environments looked great and shiny, and characters looked nice and shiny, although they did move a bit stiffly at times. I liked how the weather would change periodically, so you could have the sun, or rain, or hellfire. Music-wise, the game fared quite nicely. It was all very fitting, nice tracks, and I felt sound effects worked really well as well. Voice acting had its ups and downs. I mean, we did have Patrick Stewart, but some voices did kind of suck. All in all, the presentation was great, though. So yeah, Oblivion is a great game. Issues I had with it aside, I really had fun with it. Although the entire time I was missing Fallout 3. Guns equal more funs, but swords work too, I guess. Despite me feeling that the story was a bit lackluster, and the problems I had with the gameplay aside, Oblivion is a game that all RPG fans should check out if they haven't yet, like me. There's a ton of stuff to do, and any game that has Patrick Stewart must be great. It just has to be. I'm going to give Patrick Stewart, Oblivion, an A-.
You don't want to do that again. Don't push me, prisoner. Don't push me, prisoner. You don't want to do that again. Take them down!